Hi, I'm Glenn Allen. And I'm Glenn Allen. And today we're going to talk about how to get more done in less time by cloning yourself.
Hey, man, I thought we talked about this. We're here to help you actually live the life you've only dreamed of. Make sure to subscribe and ring that bell to get notified of new videos every Thursday morning.
As a single dad of 3 children with an 8-to-5 job, our show, and social life and all the things that I'm interested in, people are always asking me how I get so much done. Even today, Aaron, just as he came onto the show today, said something about one of the projects I'm working on.
Yeah. I was like, how do you get so much done in a given week? I feel like you do so much more than I do.
I have Oompa Loompas that do most of my bidding. They do cartwheels.
And they sing songs before the kids get taken away.
Those guys can rhyme. Like, they just pull a tune out of their hat. It's just amazing. So today we're going to show you 3 ways you can get more done in less time. So tip number 1 is to give yourself less time.
What?
And projects will often take as much time as you allow them to. So if you say, it's going to take me 3 hours, it might take 3 hours. You say 4 hours, you'll fill that 4 hours.
It's going to be 4. You say 10 hours.
It's going to take 20 hours. Wait, that's not right. One of the things that I like to do if I really need to stay focused is to use the Pomodoro technique. And if you've not heard this, Francesco Corilli, I believe his name is, came up with, no, Cirillo, whatever, who cares? He's not watching this show. The Pomodoro is a tomato timer, and you set it to up to 25 minutes, and in that 25 minutes, you just do the one task without distractions, without doing other things, without multitasking, and it really helps you focus. And when 25 minutes is up, if you still feel focused, you still feel like keep going, then just keep going.
This has been a lifesaver for me. I work from home. It's up to me to make sure I'm using my time well. I have a timer on my Chrome extension that will go off every 25 minutes. And to that same point, sometimes I want to keep on working. Other times I'll take a 5-minute break just to give me a little bit of a chance to regroup. But then I know it's only a 5-minute break versus half an hour or something more.
That's true. Timing your breaks is just as important, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. One of the biggest time wasters for myself and for others is when people take too much time to create their first draft. Your first draft of anything that you do should be your crappiest, worst version of what you're going to do. But instead, so many times people take so much time to perfect their first draft that the hours that they waste in a project is remarkable. So let your first draft be just that. Let it be the crappiest version of what you could ever do and set an extremely aggressive deadline to create it. So if you'd like to give yourself an hour to create your first draft, give yourself 15 minutes. You will be amazed at what you can get out in that time, and then all of that creative pressure that typically comes out of you when you're doing a first draft of, I'm not sure what I want to do I want to do this? When you give yourself an aggressive deadline to go after it, you just force yourself to make decisions that normally you would take a longer period of time to make.
And then don't do a second draft. Time saved.
Number 2, create your routine. I have learned over time that nothing is more important to me than my first 2 hours of my day. I treat that time now as sacred because that is the time that I am the least distracted. I have the least amount of texts or emails coming my way, that I have the least amount of time that I have to spend responding or reacting to something. There is a drastic difference in my day when I make space in the morning to center myself, to meditate, to focus, to think intentionally.
To play Candy Crush.
Versus the days where I've slept in and I have to start my day immediately. Like, drastic difference in the overall, not just my performance, but actually my fulfillment in my day. When I feel like I'm living intentionally, I feel that much happier in what I'm doing versus when I feel like I get up and right away I'm responding to 20 emails that are already in my inbox, and now I feel like I'm spending the rest of the day responding and reacting. When you create that time for yourself in the beginning, you get to actually start off intentionally, which makes a huge difference.
I use morning routines not only for just getting things done when I'm uninterrupted, but I also like to have my routine with my own family. So as a single dad, it is really helpful if I want to have more time freedom in the evening. Having a routine actually provides all this room for spontaneity. It seems counterintuitive, right? Like, if I have to make it very regimented, where's their spontaneity in that? But it leaves room in the future. It gives you that time space that you need to do other things later on. If I want to be on time for things and I want to get my kids ready for school on time faster, having it all down to a science has been very helpful. So when I wake in the morning, I get up before them about an hour or so I'm not a crab when I have to go get them up, because they're all kind of grouchy. I would be grouchy. I don't want that. So I'm starting on the right foot, I'm alert, and then we have the same smoothie every morning, so it's predictable, and I can do it blindfolded. They all
He's
know
going to do it right now. Actually, we're going to wheel out a
go.
cart, and we're going to have you do it blindfolded.
like I'm assembling a gun in the military.
Like Forrest Gump.
Yeah. So my kids know exactly what order we're gonna do things in. They know which order to get the car so that the middle kid gets in before everybody else and the other two go to the outsides. So everything is just running really smoothly and we're able to be on time for things most of the time.
Right.
Number 3, buy back your time. A lot of people forget about the opportunity cost of time. And what I mean by this is the opportunity cost in economics is basically whatever you're doing is worth the value of the next highest value thing that you could be doing. And an example of this I used to see was when I worked in a music store. I remember this guy came in after shopping 2 other stores and then coming to ours, trying to get us to drop our price on something. I think it was a guitar. And if we weren't gonna bring the price down, he was gonna go back to the other place. The thing was, it was only like 10, 20 bucks, which astonished me because it meant that, it was, maybe half an hour between stores. He's maybe spending an hour and a half to 2 hours plus drive time to and from his house, which means that he valued his own time at 10 or 20 bucks per hour or less. And we often forget that, our time is really precious and it's worth more than just a few bucks and some drive time. He could be doing something else. He could be at home enjoying that time with his guitar for maybe $10 more, right? He could be spending time with his family. There's all kinds of different things you could be doing with that time. And we'll easily throw money at something that isn't as important as our time. But when it comes to investing in ourselves, sometimes we just don't feel right doing it. But one of the biggest time savers for me was getting a meal preparation subscription because I'm not wasting that's not what I would say.
So many times crying in front of the cucumbers.
With a meal prep service, I'm saving on decision making, on meal prep cooking time, on shopping, on cleanup. And so I'm able to reinvest that time into either doing more client work or hanging out with my friends and family.
You think about the little ways that you spend on yourself, how that feels okay, right? You'll buy yourself a coffee every day, but then, spending $100 on something feels wasteful or wrong, right? But really, if you really look at how much you spend on these little things, they all add up, and it's just a different priority. So I invested in getting a cleaning service to clean my apartment. It's like every maybe 3 months they'll come in. I have very limited time where I'm not working with my children. Like the amount of days that I get in a year where I'm not working or with my girls is like on one hand. For me, it was like, okay, I could spend one of those 5 days cleaning my entire apartment top to bottom, or I could spend $100, have someone else do it, and free up my time and my energy. It was a no-brainer. So it's really thinking about intentionally allowing yourself the ability to spend money on yourself in a way that actually helps you be a better person in the other areas of your life that are important to you. I mean, if you think about it, it's about investing in yourself. Hey, I'm gonna spend $100 so I can honestly be a better father and a better employee and a better friend and family member. It makes sense.
Just do it already.
Clean my apartment. And make our meals. This is all, in the end, what we're asking for is for you,
our viewers. They made this video in hopes that you would actually do my laundry.
We got an amazing worksheet for you to fill out. And it has a
list of my chores.
Bunch of tasks that we're going to allow you to do.
So what I'd like to know is what kind of time-saving tips have you got for us? If you could, share one in the comments below. And
subscribe to our show.
And subscribe to our show.
But also,
subscribe to our show. And
where's that other Glenn?
Yeah, he could be doing the dishes right now.
You can't just go around owning people. That's crazy.